I want to introduce you guys to a friend of mine now. I consider him a friend. We've had a lot of conversations on the phone. We've had lots of funny texts back and forth and some good conversations over the course of the week since April 23rd, actually, I think was one of the first times that we ever spoke. So when I went out doing a little bit of research, I came across the patent. I called Rensley, left a message or sent an email. I'm not sure exactly how it went. And about an hour later, I get a call back from Tommy, and the rest is history. So I want to introduce you guys to the president of Rensley, Tommy Parish. And Tommy, welcome. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being on the Zoom here. It means a lot to everyone on the call. I know that. I just hope you can just introduce yourself. Just tell us a little bit about the background of Rensley. Tell us a little bit about your father, because Dr. Parish is your father who created the company. And just tell us a little bit about the pedigree.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. And to everybody, thank you for being on this call. And this is super exciting with everything that's happening. And the timing of everything, like Dan was saying, is just impeccable. It's crazy how the universe aligns and comes together in a time where I really believe, and I believe Dan does too, that we can add so much value to everybody that's going to be involved in this. And not only for us, but also the people that, you know, that you're going to be working with. It's potentially life-changing for what this opportunity is. So thank you, everybody, for believing in this. And I'll give you a little bit of history. So my father, he is now 81 years old. He graduated from and got his PhD in organic chemistry back in 1970, started his own chemical company and did specific contract manufacturing for a lot of different industries. Our technology came from a project where he was working with ATK Thiokol. They're the ones that make the booster rockets for the shuttle program. At the time, it was the Hercules program and for NASA, and was developing burn rate modifiers for them and working with them, and then was contracted to actually manufacture the solid rocket fuel in the 80s and through the 90s for their program, which is here in Utah. And when he was developing the manufacturing process and also the burn rate modifiers that he was working on for them, saw applications for fuels. And this is back in the 80s when fuel was so cheap, and started developing our first iterations of product in 1986. So we've been in this market specifically surrounding combustion modification and burn rate modification for almost 36 years going on now. And I would say we're probably the pioneers in the market with regard to it. A lot of people haven't heard about us because we've just focused on our manufacturing. You know, we white labeled the product in the past. But over these years that we've been working on this, you know, we've advanced our understanding and also the technology. And right now we're the only ones in the world with regard to the solid formulation patents. And we have patents in the US, the European Union, Canada, and Australia. So all of the big, powerful markets where there's a lot of business. We know in other third world countries, there's a lot of business potential too. But these are the core for all the manufacturing and those types of things. So our patents are still in force. We've had people challenge them and unsuccessfully tried to invalidate our patents because it is such a powerful patent, which emboldens us even more to have and be a place in the market and align ourselves with the right people to get it out there. There's a lot of, as I'm sure you guys know, there's a lot of dishonest people and crooks, especially when it comes into the market of additives, but also in the MLM industry. There's a lot of people that are cheating, but you are aligned with someone who I believe is a really good person, motivated by the right things to share with what this potential opportunity is with everyone that's involved. So I commend Dan for that, because I've been averse to working with MLMs in the past because of things that have happened. But through the years, you know, I had no idea that this would be such a big part of my life. Well, everything with regard to my earning potential and my business. When I was a teenager, I worked for my dad and was actually on production. I was involved in the manufacturing process of the solid rocket fuel, which I thought was really cool, but I hated chemistry growing up. I hated it. And so now it's like a big part of my life, and I've learned the applicable stuff, which is very relevant to everything that's happening in the world right now. And I went into the, got my college degree in business management, worked in commercial development and construction for a while. And then when the whole market crashed in 2008, got involved back with this company. My dad wanted me to get involved and put some money into it. And so that was in 2008. And so I worked with, it was all a family business, and we've been going through the fun aspects of that being a family business. But basically in 2015, bought the company out from all the family and have been kind of changing the direction that we do the business, cut off the ones that are the cheaters out there, the ones that we supplied, the highest quality products to, and that they were doing under their own brands and lying to everybody in the market about what it was. And so what Dan is doing is also very progressive when it comes into forming a company and creating these relationships. And my loyalty and dedication is to support people that are that way. So everyone that's going to be involved with this knows that I'm going to be supporting everything that we're doing together. And we really do have the best product in the world, and we're advancing our technology even to date. My dad's helping us take the next steps into our next generation products, and you guys will have access to those. We've been talking to Dan about that. And so we're super excited about what we have to do here together. So
awesome. Yeah, it's so exciting. And the great part of the relationship that we have is, not just a manufacturer vendor relationship, because throughout this whole course, right from idea to, hey, Tommy, what do you think about this packaging, to, hey, what do you think about this graphic? And, that's the kind of the back and forth that we've had since the very beginning of even thinking about this. And you've enlightened me, and I've been able to enlighten others in what you've taught me about the industry, because coming from network marketing, when we first talked, you were said, as you said, you were versed in network marketing, and you put it a little bit more bluntly when we first talked about it. But this is where my background is nutritionals. So in the nutritional industry, it's a little bit different than the fuel additives industry. So you opened my eyes, which I'm able to educate other people about fuel additives, and it's this whole little industry, and it's a whole little niche in the world that it's a multi-billion dollar company, opportunity out there in the fuel additives industry. So I appreciate you for all of that education. I know it kind of made frustrating for you. Me talking about what the heck is 1,2,4,5 tetramethylbenzene and
right,
all these terms as we went along. But I appreciate your helping us out here. I want to ask you a couple questions that I know Malcolm and Val are sweaty palms right now thinking about what I'm going to ask you about competition and everything. But yeah, I'm not going to go negative. I don't want to say any names or anything. But there are other companies out there. We're EPA registered. We are under the Rensley umbrella. And we also have our own EPA registration going in the works as well. And so, when our EPA register says Xcelerate fuel tabs, because that's, and you can expand on this. That's what has to happen when you have EPA registration. So an EPA registration, a product out there, no matter if it's a solid or liquid or a powder, can't point to another product's EPA registration and say, this is our registration from 2009, can they?
That's exactly right. So the way that the EPA looks at it, well, first, they have two different designations for EPA registrations. Almost 99% of the additives that are out there are registered under what they call baseline additives. And that's all of your lubricity improvers, your cetane improvers, octane improvers, cold flow improvers, all these things which change the aspect of properties of the fuel for handability and functionality. Those are what they qualify under baseline. Ours falls under what they call atypical. So it's basically carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and an atypical element, which is that catalytic function. So two separate markets. We're regulated different than what they are. We had to go through what they call a Tier 1 safety and health effects study, which is none of the other additives have gone through it. They were grandfathered in by an API submission, and they haven't had to go through it. There's people out there that are claiming that they got their registrations in 2009 and they went through the EPA registration. This happened a long time before. And our ability to be able to register product not only for the stuff that we make, but also being grandfathered in for bulk treatments on certain types of fuel, That's based on our history with the EPA. And we have a very good relationship with them. They know me personally. You know, I've even met some of them in DC. And so we meet the highest standard for regulations in the market. Our product has been deemed to be safe for all over the road use applications, which is a higher standard than off-road. And that registration has to be specifically tied to the trade name, which is going into the market. It doesn't matter if someone else registered anything else. If you're selling it into the market, your registration is trade name and formulation. If it's your formulation or someone else's, it has to be registered on composition and going out into the marketplace. And then the manufacturers, which is us, has to file annual reports every year for all of the products that we're selling into the marketplace, where we're selling them, and those types of things. So it's not just if anyone has a EPA registration and you buy their product and then just put your own name on it, it's no longer registered with the EPA. It doesn't work that way. And composition is key to that. So a liquid formulation cannot be the same composition as a solid formulation. And the tablets are not made from a liquid formulation, so it's the same. That's not the way it works. So we maybe looking hindsight, 2020, looking back on what we helped people do, and they're leveraging what we helped them do back in 2008 and beyond to have EPA registrations that were specifically tied to our product that we were manufacturing and putting out into the market. And so
what you're talking about, you're talking about so there's some companies out there that are claiming EPA registration from 2009 from a different product, but the reality is you actually supplied that product to the people that are claiming to have the EPA registration. That was your formula in the first place.
And even the registrations.
Right.
That was all done based on my company registering it under what they call a private label registration. But the EPA sees everything that's registered and it ties back to me being the manufacturer. So anybody selling a product under that registration with a different composition or a different trade name, they could be in pretty big trouble, and they're aware of a lot of things. So I've been sending stuff to, enforcement as well as other companies to put them in check. It'll happen. It's a slow process, but they're very aware of the parties that are out there doing things that aren't, by the regulations.
Sure. And just one more question as far as that goes, or in that same category. Now, some other companies claiming 20 years of in the tab industry, 20 years of results and Nobel Prize chemistry and all this crap that's just absolutely just fabricated nonsense. What do you say when people are saying our tab is Nobel Prize chemistry and our tab has 20 years of research and our prize and our blah blah blah, all of this background?
If their tab won the Nobel Prize for chemistry back in 1963, then their tab would have been around since 1963. No, like just one component of that has nothing to do. Like, we don't piggyback off of other people's discoveries of an element that was done back in the 60s or the 70s. All of our technology, all of our testing reports, all of the years of documentation are based on our technology. And these other people that have been out there that we sold to in the past, they're basing their results in their company off of performance that my product provided to them. And now they're selling other products that are not the same composition or anything and trying to piggyback on the results that our company has been demonstrating over the past 3 decades. So anybody that's talking about NASA and burn rate modifiers or those things, they're all trying to get some credibility based on our history, our story, and our technology.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things, how I even found you in the first place was, I was actually looking at the reason, how can I develop a tab that make it unique and make it, have, efficacious product that, people can see results, and, ferrous pick rate and ingredients like this that you and I talked about, just do a rack in my brain of how to, take advantage of the situation that I was in with another company. And, you're like, you're filling me in on this whole new world. So pretty exciting. I appreciate it, Tommy. I'm just trying to think of anything else that I wanted to ask you here. The one thing I did want to talk about is what our particular product that we have with a sexy X on it, the nice shiny gloss to it. Absolutely love it, and people are in love with it. I haven't showed you yet, but testimonials are flowing in, pictures and hashtags all over the place with that product on there. But so our particular product is exclusive to us, right? So we have people going around spreading rumors about the patents, like you mentioned before. The patent's is not valid. He lost a lawsuit.
You can look up. You can look it up. You can look on the U.S. Patent Trademark Office. Our patents are still there, valid. Everything.
But
so
everyone's grasping at straws because they don't have the best. And they'd like to help, I guess, step on other people or use other people, leverage other people's success to help them boost their own. So can you talk just a little bit about our particular product, our relationship, and where you see us going in the future?
We've talked about what we want to do, and obviously the proof is in the performance of it, and but that sexy X on yours identifies your product uniquely. So and we've talked about enhancing that even further to give you a product which is unique, but everything that you're offering is going to be unique to Xcelerate, and that helps us identify. So that sexy X is in the process of being trademarked also, and all of the tablets that you see on the market that are marked, you'll know, basically embossed, you'll know that it's ours. And so all these other ones that are out there trying to put a cross on them that doesn't look so great, and all these other things are basically attempts at a copy. And even that, it's attempts, and where they got the information was directly correlated to our patent research and our preliminary patents or provisional patents and all those types of things. So there's certain reasons why we're not using certain products, and there's reasons that we zeroed in on what we have, and it really is an amazing product that is a game changer in every way for what's happening on the global economy and fuel, everything right now. So when you get that product, or if you see the product out there and it has a sexy X, that's coming from us. Anyone that tried to knock that off is going to be in big trouble. And we are actively enforcing our patents in the market. We test everything that's out there. It's a pretty small world when it comes into the solid formulations and tablets, but we've been doing this longer than anybody. No one that's claiming to have 20 years has 20 years doing this. We're the ones that have the 30 years plus in the market, not in tablets, but in our technology. And so you can rest assured that like my father still is helping us develop stuff, and that everything that's going to be coming through Xcelerate is going to be the highest quality and best performing product in the marketplace.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. I know I said we're going to be about a half hour, about 31 minutes. So I know I talked a little bit longer. Thanks, Tommy. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. Have your support and have you on here. And we look forward to the future. And I know everyone's excited to see what else the Parish family has in store for us as far as products.
Do you want me to talk about what's coming, or you want to wait for that?
Yeah, let's wait for that. Let's hold that up. I want that a July surprise, July Christmas.
Yeah, right.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, I appreciate.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say thank you for having me on, and I look forward to more of these and helping this. We're close to almost 300 people on this. That's awesome. So congratulations to everybody that have found you and are participating at this level. It's only going to be going up from here. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Again, we're going to have another call presentation on Thursday, and you can invite your guests and look over the entire from soup to nuts on the compensation plan, on Xcelerate the product, on the patent, on Tommy's patent, and everything in between. So really excited. Thanks for everyone. Congratulations, everyone. 600 plus commissions going out here this month. I've never been involved with a company that has done that. 600, a lot of people making a lot of money, yes, but not 600 average people making important life-changing income. And that's what this company, and I know Tommy shares the same philosophy with me, what the meaningful money. And so congratulations, everyone. Thanks for your hard work. And we'll talk to everyone on Thursday. Thanks, Tommy.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Thank